I don't know if it's even appropriate for me to start this message off with a peace greeting, but let me start off by telling you all what inspired this. And that is that Beautiful Lies, actually, his name is El Guapo, but the one who runs the channel, Beautiful Lies, 12 hours before I'm recording this, had a man up on his channel that spoke on the lady Gemini, Rochelle Gemini, that went up on Isaiah's show in Houston and had something to say about Austin Holloman and Passport Bros. As I stated previously, I am SYSBM. Maybe I count as IBMOR as well. It's up to them to tell me if I still do or not, but I will speak on behalf of BMPTs in general. And let me state this about the BMPTs in general, including Passport Bros. What you are doing is more pro-black than what these conscious ratchets are doing. The conscious ratchets, for the most part, are saying we're going to do what we feel. Period. We're going to be thoughts. We're going to be hoes. The guest that came on to El Guapo's show stated that back in 2018 he met her and she put some kind of crystals in his hand and said, "I'm sharing my energy with you." So she's got her head wrap, she got her crystals, her energy, all this nebulous, unclear, vaporous, esoteric, mystical, unsubstantial stuff she's got in her head. And she can hand it to somebody. Energy has no mass. Now, it exists in mass, and it can exist without mass. But energy does not have mass. You might want to say, "I'm sharing my stones with you," but she didn't see, it's not even scientific. Now, when I was coming up, if you were pro-black and you had a sexual instinct, and it showed at all, sisters were quick to tell you that you can't be conscious and that at the same time. And I wondered why they insisted on separating those two. I couldn't understand it. I do now. The guy that went up and said this was not talking about consciousness. She was. These conscious sisters, by their own standards when I was coming up, were supposed to have lower body counts. They got the highest. And the men with whom they develop these body counts aren't talking consciousness. Now, they may be that, but they ain't talking that. So frankly, to be honest with you, Omar Johnson should be getting more trim from conscious sisters than non-conscious brothers. Is he? No. The text messages between him and one of the strippers showed that. She did not fear Veguk by their sexual needs. Now, if it's because they're not married, fine and dandy, as long as that's across the board. You're not dealing with sisters that have these standards. So what it means is that these conscious sisters are least attracted to conscious men. And they're pimping you. If you're conscious, you may not even have a lot of means, especially if white folk find out you're conscious. Ask me how I know. You're not going to have a lot of means. They're still coming to you to raise other men's kids. The difference is this: you being a conscious brother will probably not have to rely on her for your means. But if you supply her with what you do have, from what you have, and struggle to get, she will take that and then let the non-conscious man, if he's ratchet enough, get means from her and dig her out. Raw dog and cream pie the cervix. That's why they're conscious, but dad never is. And if dad is conscious, he's ratchet conscious. I hate to say it, but what happens is this: the more authentic you are as a man, the less trim you gonna get. And, you know, some people would say, well, what's the problem with that? My answer to that is there isn't supposed to be a relationship between those two at all, really. Unless the women are going to say, well, we're going to reward the most conscious men with the most trim and reproduction. And now that would make more sense for any nation. No, these broads are sitting up and saying, I'll be conscious, but if you are, you better hide it. If you want to reproductively succeed. Now, if you seem to be stupid enough, but sexy enough, then I'll get another man to take on your responsibility. And that's what they're saying. And this lady here was on TV doing that. If you know any of these broads that ever has anything to say, I normally would tell men, do not disclose your fornication. But you know what? If you don't believe that it's wrong, if you really don't believe the fornication is wrong, then if you have anything to do with the sexual histories of any of these women that have anything to say about conscious black men, for one, because they don't respect and appreciate them enough, any BMPT, black male passport traveler, for two, go ahead and expose it. If you would then saw someone else do it, expose it. Go ahead. Because this needs to get out. They need to be undermined. It's like BGS said, we cannot be moving in stealth. Well, we can be moving in stealth if you're individually going to do that. But BGS was saying we cannot be afraid of them anymore. And someone else pointed out they're going to attack someone anyway. We might as well counterattack. Believe you me, make that a standard. You better have nobody count before you get up and say a mother cuss word thing, or the members of your body count are going to come out and say something. Two things will happen. Number one, they're going to have to fuck the shuck up. Number two, the ones that are still brave enough to talk, well, just those that are brave enough to talk, they're going to get up, they're going to say something, and the same men are going to be coming out and saying, wait a minute, I just told y'all what I did with the last one last week. This is another one I dug out. You're going to see firsthand that it's the same few. And one thing they ain't going to have in common is consciousness. At least not openly. Thank you for listening. As always, black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual, non-select male power, because they don't like it in black patriarchy till extinction of judgment day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for flying with Jet Black Airways again, where jet black is also a verb. Keep jet black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.